Hey gang, welcome back to another episode of the Dental Success Podcast. I'm your host, Ruben Camp, CEO and founder of Darkhorse Tech. And I'm delighted to have on this week Mauro from Bonded Dental. He has escaped the clutches of corporate, just like I have, just like many of you have. And he's here to help you guys get more patients, get more profits, and ultimately get more freedom. So there's going to be a lot of takeaways we're going to leave you guys with here today. So we're just trying to pump out the value here. And if you want to reach out to Mauro after this podcast is over, he'll give you some information on how to do that. But Mauro, welcome.
Good morning. Good morning, Ruben. Good morning, everyone listening. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I can't help but notice your accent. You know, we're friends, so I know the story. Why don't you tell us, how did that accent arrive in this country?
Yeah, I cannot hide it. I'm from Italy. I lived in 6 different countries across 3 different continents. Basically, I worked most of my career in Barilla, the #1 pasta company in the world. I was the marketing director and strategy for Barilla. But my wife, as usual, has been complicating life. So she kept moving. She couldn't help by escaping me continuously. So I was commuting from Italy to Spain, Singapore to Hong Kong, Singapore to Ireland. Eventually, when she made it to the US, I realized I needed to set a more remote setup. So now I can travel, not currently due to the pandemic, but I can usually travel in between Europe and the US. So this is why I moved to the US. I spent a lot of time in the US. And I started thinking about opening a digital marketing agency for dentists in my last role in Germany, actually. One of my teammates, Lucas, had his wife was a dentist. And he was always concerned, he was saying, oh, you know, I don't have the courage, I'm not brave enough. I should open a digital marketing agency for dentists because they're just wasting so much profit. So that's where the idea came from.
That's amazing. So yeah, you kind of fused a lot of elements there, and I'm so drawn to people with unique backgrounds because I think you just come up with the most interesting ideas for how to approach this. Because if everyone, and maybe you can speak on this a little more, if everyone is doing the same thing on Google, like how do you cut through the noise?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is there are 1 billion websites online, and everybody. I mean, especially on these industries, everybody. The point is, agencies knows to do one thing or 2 things, and they try to sell you that thing. So they make podcasts, blogs, videos where they say this is the only things you actually need. But you need a larger view on how to manage in the most profitable way your business. And this is what we offer.
Right. Yeah, and profits set you free, right? That's that cushion.
Absolutely. Your point, I mean, you as a dental practice owner, a practitioner, do you really want to become a master or spend all your night or evening looking at, I don't know, Google Analytics or getting into the rabbit hole of keywords? You don't want to do that. You want to rely on somebody that is trustworthy, share few key figures, no jargon, no technicalities. So you know that your money is well invested and it's a great return. So you can focus on delivering great dental experiencing and enjoy your life.
Right. Yeah. And you know what? If you do this, you're allowed to have a bad day, right? If you run your practice paycheck to paycheck, you have to be 100% all the time. And that will drain you. It will. I've been doing Darkhorse for 9 years, and I can tell you, I've been 100%. It'll catch up to you at some point.
Absolutely. I mean, we all know how busy our daily schedules are, especially for a practice owner that have to take care of all the different aspects, from HR to marketing to actually do their own job. And if you have to rush from one appointment to the other, you're not focusing on delivering great value to your patients, which is what, over the long run, will make the difference in between a struggling practice and a flourishing one.
So we've described the lifestyle that you're going for, right? Just more patience, peace of mind, the cushion. Let's dive right into some actual practical things now. In your opinion, what are some of the biggest mistakes that practice owners make in their approach to marketing and SEO in their website?
Well, so you have time. Yeah, you've got time because there's a lot of mistakes. So first of all, I would say let's start with the good thing. There's a lot of practices that are doing a lot in marketing, investing, because they're realizing that you cannot just open a practice and expectations to come. So they're getting interest, trying to get their roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty. But the point is, most of the time they're misguided by some, I don't know, self-declared experts. So first of all, I would say, number one, before we enter into the technicalities and the execution of any digital marketing activities, I want to say, please have a clear strategy, okay? A strategy is having totally clear where you want to go and how you want to go there. If you don't know that, it's very difficult to choose one activities over the other, because maybe do you want to attract new patients? Which patients? Or maybe you already have a large base of patients and you might just focus on upselling and focus on increasing frequency, because you know what? It's much cheaper and easier to upsell and increase frequency to existing customers and patients rather than creating one. So have a clear strategy. That's certainly number one. And then if you wanted to, and then if you want to focus on digital marketing mistakes, there's also, we have plenty. I would say one thing that is very, very important in my opinion is a lot of practices don't invest at all or don't invest enough in digital advertising. They might say, okay, I focus a lot. I've great.
And why do you think that is? Is it like a mistrust that there's like this guy in a basement in Serbia doing SEO? Like where is this mistrust coming from?
I think it depends also on the not clear, transparent return on investment shown by agencies. So a lot of jargon, a lot of technicalities, long documents to get through, and details that are not important for practice owners and don't give them the trust. And sometimes they just think about that as a cost, right?
Yeah. So you're saying that if you have a clear marketing strategy with a clear goal, which is, I don't know, increase new patients from 20 to 40 by the end of April, and it works, you have an ROI, right? So, or let's say it doesn't work, then you have the ability to say, hey, this doesn't work. Let's revise our marketing strategy. Did I interpret that correctly?
Yeah, I mean, and even further, I mean, not just the age of your patients, but also what are the services that looking for, what's important, what are the key benefits you want to advertise and underline that is telling you apart from your competition, and that's what will drive them eventually to make a decision and become your patient. So, and again, I wanted to keep clarifying the point on the Google advertising, because I don't want to say you don't need to have a great website, because you do. 75% of people judge the credibility of a practice based on the design of their website. So you definitely do need that. But over time, Google advertising will become more and more important. 97% of people look for local services online. And you guess what? They go to Google. And if you're not there, and even if you waste all your time in doing insight SEO, as maybe some agency advertises you, you know what? Organic links, organic placements are coming down and down, because Google, you know what? He wants you to stay on their pages. So now there is the map pack at the top, and then there are all the advertising. So the advertising and the map pack is essential. You want to be there. Don't waste all your time just on the insight SEO.
Right. So if you're working with a group right now, they're not giving you a clear strategy. They're not cutting through the noise, right? They're just doing very generic posts. You're probably not in the best position to support your practice in your goals and your pursuits and what you want to do. Now, let's say I'm a dentist and I say, hey, Mauro, like, I don't have a lot of time for this and I don't want to spend any money. Obviously, maybe not a great client, but like, they're just coming to you for help. And they're like, all right, there's Google, there's Facebook, there's Instagram, there's Twitter, there's TikTok. And he's like, all right, if I just have to focus on a couple of these, what are the most important avenues to focus on?
And I totally get it. I mean, digital marketing can be a rabbit hole, and practice owners don't have the time or the resources to do everything. They just have to focus on a few things that really works. And clearly, it depends. There are some activities that you don't even need to spend much money, right? So maybe you can design a member get member activities so that some of your patients are incentivized through discount, or maybe a free cleaning when they bring in, when they refer new patients. That's something you can do tomorrow. And again, the good things of digital marketing is that it's scalable. So you can start small, you can see how it works and increase it when you see that the return is positive. And again, talking about mistakes, simple things are making a huge difference. For example, a lot of practice, direct ads, when people click on their ads on Google that they've spent money with, they direct it to their own page or to a page on the website and not to a dedicated landing page. This is proven to be a great mistake. With a landing page, you increase leads by 55%. And even in the design of the landing page, if you remove your navigation panel, your conversion rate goes up of 100%. You see, small details make a huge difference in the result that you're bringing at the end of the month.
Let's keep it simple and random. So I just discovered this last night. We have a competitor of ours. They are now using a sub URL with our name in it to try to get, like, you Google Darkhorse Tech, you will see surfct/Darkhorse Tech. Like, they're literally trying to be like, yeah, we're not very good at what we do, so we're going to glean off of these guys who are out there doing the right thing. So it's crazy.
People try to cheat on digital marketing as well. I mean, if you're struggling to get in the map pack on Google, and you might discover, for example, that your competitors are using fake names in their Google My Business names, including keywords and locations, which is not their real name. But you guess what? You can click on that and just signal to Google that what is their real name, so they can and their ranking will go down tomorrow.
If you want to be a jerk about it, you can post it. Like, this is what I did because I'm a competitive guy. I posted this link online. So I encourage everybody to click on their ad and then get them build a bunch of money. Yeah, we'll run right through their budget. No problem. Game on, ServCT. When we talk about strategy and budgets and ROI.
And sorry, I just want to close my thoughts about Google Ads, because one thing that is a great mistake is neglecting to retarget, right? For dentists, especially for specific services like cosmetic dentistry or dental patients or dental implants. The people that click on their link will not immediately become your patients, because for these specific services, people will do more research, will want to know more. So what you can do, very simply, you put a Facebook retargeting pixel in your landing page, and you follow that customer when he's on Facebook. You show continuously your name, and this doesn't cost you a dime until they're ready to click and become your patient. This is something that most agencies don't do because they focus on their keywords and they try to sell that, but these make an incredible difference at the end of the month.
I can tell maybe less than 1% of my clients know that. And why should they? They should be seeing patients and running their businesses.
Exactly.
This is the nitty gritty, but in a highly competitive industry like SEO, that's where you break through.
I told you, simple activities, but when you need an eagle eye view to make sure that you're focusing on the things that make the difference and you don't lose hours in checking which, I don't know, specific keywords you want to bet. This is technicalities. You should not be concerned with that.
Yeah. So that's a great point. And I'm glad you mentioned that. Now, just to round out the ROI budget, we see the acronyms PAC or CAC. You and I know what those mean. Patient or client acquisition cost. Now, to get a true ROI, you need to know what that is, right? You need to know how much does a patient, their lifetime value, right? So if you know what their lifetime value is, then you know how much you can spend. And then you can judge by how successful the campaign is. Am I making my money back? Right. And I know, Mauro, you focus on this because your background is you're infuriated with people that don't show what they're doing for their clients. You made this essential part of your business, is these meetings that say, hey, doctor, this is what I'm doing for you. This is your budget and it's working. Here's the ROI. I'm justifying my existence. That must be such an empowering thing, but I'll be taken away there.
Absolutely. I mean, you're right. You're right, Ruben. I mean, the cost of acquisition of a new patient for a practice is essential. Every big company focuses a lot on that. So you need to track that, but that's one figure that you need to track. You know how effective you are in your marketing efforts in attracting new patients. And then you might have your own estimate of what is the lifetime value of your patient. There are several estimates online, different authorities. I mean, this goes, the lowest I've seen is around $4,500 up to $20,000, $22,000. So I encourage definitely dental practice owner to focus on these two elements. See how much you're spending to get one new patient and the return on investment. You don't need to see 20 pages of detailed technical jargon stuff. You see, okay, right. I'm spending this and maybe it's decreasing. So we're improving and I'm making this much money. So this is an investment that I might increase, and this increase my overall profit.
And just because I'm simple, can you also just put how many patients came in this month? I would like those three numbers.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. I mean, that's definitely important. But I think that it's more clear to practice owners, right? Because they see them passing through their doors while they don't know how much that specific patient costed.
So how important do you feel like, I think reputation management reviews kind of notch under that. How important is that in the buying decisions of potential patient? And let's say kind of a secondary question to that is, let's say you are a practice either with no reputation or a low reputation. What are the easiest ways to get that up?
So first of all, reputation is essential. It doesn't just help you attracting new patients, because 91% of people trust online reviews as much as their family or friends. So this is very, very important, but it also helps you rank best in Google. So being consistent in asking for review to your current patients is extremely important. So this is very, very important. I want to mention also one thing that you touched on. So on the level of reviews, sometimes people ask me, oh, is a 5.0 on Google good, bad, or I have a 5.0. So there are research that shows that there is a sweet spot in between 4.3 and 4.8, which is where patients are more trusting you, because they think, okay, there are a lot of positive reviews, but also some negatives, because authenticity is a value, right? 68% of customers actually say that they trust reviews more when they see both positive and negative.
So warning out there, guys, I have, I think, 65 5-star reviews and I'm a 5.0. So what I'm hearing is I need to call up one of my clients and be very rude to them on the phone.
Yeah, so,
and insist that they leave a review.
I mean, sometimes it happens that you get a 4-star, so that's make it more authentic for people. And I say to my clients, do not freak out. You get a negative review, it's okay. Respond politely. If you think that that's an actual one of your patients, just look at an opportunity to improve the way you service the patients. Maybe he has spent, I don't know, 1 hour on the phone and nobody answered, so you can change the way you organize, so you can improve your service to everybody and secure the profitability over the long term for your practice. If he's a troll or one of your competitors that created 20 different Google accounts to give you a 1-star review, again, respond politely, say, I don't see you in my accounts. We don't know. Can you please tell better, more in detail your experience? So
I haven't had to do that yet, but I've talked to a lot of my clients who have had patients leave some like terrible reviews on there, and the restraint it takes, because we all make that patient's crazy. They didn't want to spend any money, which is probably true. They didn't understand what I was saying. They didn't. It was one review that was just like, they didn't take my insurance. I'm mad. Like, that's ridiculous. And it takes so much restraint because, you know, as business owners, this is our livelihood. This is our names, our reputation, and you just want to be like, you know, all caps, flame out. And obviously, that is the wrong. I'm glad you touched on that because it's such a natural human emotion.
Yeah, it's natural, but I definitely don't recommend it. Just imagine if you are looking for a different local service and you see that the owner of that service have responded in all caps, what's impression you get? That's why I definitely not recommend it.
So I think at this point, I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions.
Before we move there, just I want to touch one thing because we didn't mention Google My Business, right? Google My Business.
Thank you. Yes.
It's becoming more and more important again because Google makes, you know, $200 billion per year from people staying on their pages and clicking. So they want to spend more time there. That's why Google My Business is becoming more and more important, and they give you a lot of opportunities, and so little practices are using it now. Basically, you can have free advertising by using posts or products on Google My Business, and only 2% of the dentists are using product. Only 6% have an active post, and only 28% of dentists in the US use Google My Business to book appointments. So this is something that you can do tomorrow and bring you a lot of value and no cost. Please do it.
If only 6% of people are doing it, then yeah, that's something to break through. Absolutely. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm going to say we should end with, what are the 3 most impactful actions an office could take today to boost their presence, right, and the reputation online. But first, we'll do rapid fire.
Okay, sure. Let's do that.
Leave the cherry on top for the end. So, Mauro, are you ready?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
first one.
I'm ready.
If you ran for president, who would be your vice president?
I think The Rock, Dwayne Johnson.
The Rock. Are you sure? He's so tall, though.
It seems very convincing. I don't want to appear in pictures with him, but I think dealing with, I don't know, the opposition, it would be very effective.
It's very intimidating. A pretty good fill-in if you ever want to go on vacation. Be like, oh, that guy looks very presidential. What is something that people often get wrong about you?
Not much, I would say. I'm a pretty straightforward guy, so I don't think they get much wrong, or I got a lot of things wrong, and so I don't know. Normally, though, I think I'm pretty straightforward, and so it's easy to get me.
Very good. Now, this one might be a loaded question. You are Italian. You're Northern Italian? Or
I'm from Rome. I'm from Rome.
Oh, Rome. So is that cacio e pepe? What are we talking about here? What's your favorite meal?
I would say amatriciana carbonara is definitely the most authentic, typical.
Pasta carbonara. Oh my God. And are you watching the Searching for Italy show on CNN?
No,
by the way?
I haven't yet.
Maybe it just does it for us Americans who weren't born there, but they went through Rome on the second episode. It's Stanley Tucci. I don't know if you know that actor, but just makes you hungry. Let's see. Now I have a question about the fastest speed you'd ever driven in a car, but the part B is, which Italian car maker do you prefer?
So I don't go that fast with cars. So probably, I don't know, 100 miles per hour, probably, I don't know, on a high speed in Germany. And
yes,
car makers, maybe Alfa Romeo.
Alfa Romeo. So not it. So one of
you
my
wanted
favorite.
You wanted to include
Ferrari.
Maserati, Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Yeah, if I have to include also premium brands, Maserati, I would say.
Maserati, okay.
It's more relevant.
One of my favorite quotes is from, maybe he didn't say it, but I'd like to think he said it, by Enzo Ferrari. He said, aerodynamics are for people who can't build engines.
He probably did. He probably did.
He's a big personality. I want you, if you can, say "Good day, mate" in an Italian, not Italian, an Australian accent.
Sure. Good day, mate. I think I butchered. Good day, mate. I don't know. I'm trying.
I think. Yep. Next one. And I think we already heard your answer, but I'll pasta carbonara, Rome, or pizza margherita, Naples.
Sorry, you can't ask me to choose this. It's like choosing between drinking and breathing. You cannot give up any.
It's drinking for me. All right. So
Okay.
last question is to leave our listeners here, because I respect the hell out of you, and you care a lot about what you do, like I do, in our reputation and making a name for ourselves. So if you can describe what impactful 3 actions our listeners could take right now, back to what they're doing, to make an impact on their presence, and then after do that, if you could let people know how to contact you if they're interested in using your services.
So absolutely. So 3 things very quickly, and we already touched a little bit on this. So leverage the full power of Google My Business, use products, use active posts, use booking, online booking appointments. That's a great free way of doing. You can do tomorrow. Google Ads, go for landing pages, go for the long tail and long keywords rather than just more competitive and expensive generic keywords. You will increase your conversion and lower your cost per contact. Last, be consistent in asking for reviews. You will improve your services, you will attract more patients, and you rank better for in SEO. So these 3 things should be on the list of everybody that want to improve his presence. If they want to reach out to us, go down to bondeddental.com. Definitely I invite you, everybody. If you're not convinced your campaigns are bringing the right results, we can do a free audit in March. We're offering a free audit of your Google Ads account that is worth $hundreds of dollars. You can learn what you can improve tomorrow. You can get an estimate of, with your same budget, how many more leads you can get. So, and the same on your website. If you're not believing that your website is bringing the right patients, we can check it out. We can run an audit so you can learn what you can improve right now. So feel free to reach out and see what we can do for you.
Great. Yeah, and if you give Mauro your domain name, then he's able to run that website scan, and you might be low on SEO or high on SEO, and your website speed's so low. So when you click on it and it's taking 5 seconds to load, your patients are like, screw this, too long, and go back. I mean, that loading time, the bounce rate, right? And like just all these numbers that you want a professional to pay attention to who has your back. So Mauro, I can't thank you enough for your time. I know you're a busy dude. You got a lot of stuff going on. I'm just happy you wound up in the dental field like us. And it was just amazing to have you on and hear the value you can give to dentists out there.
Thank you so much for having me, Ruben. It was a pleasure to be here, and good day to everybody listening.
So, take care, guys.